Hi, Mark here from the Tangibound Podcast Network and host of the flagship show, the Tangibound Podcast. Did you know that we over at Tangibound are always looking for amazing podcasts to promote? And did you also know that we are also proud nerds and geeks of everything from movies, music, gaming, TV shows, and comic books to wrestling, MMA, soccer, and football? Whatever you can nerd or geek out about, we've got it. And if you're interested, we can help you find it. And if you're a show looking for a place to call home, we've got you covered. Side effects may include upset stomach, dizziness, tumors, shakes, and in some rare cases, death from excessive laughter. Though to be fair, it's only sometimes. Other side effects may include diarrhea, gallstones, heart palpitations, and strong desire for cookies on the dark side. Talk to your doctor and visit TangiboundNetwork.com and see if Tangibound Network is right for you.
This is a Danger Entertainment podcast. DangerEntertainment.net's Danger Entertainment Podcast Network.
Welcome to the podcast from Temperance Town, the sexiest podcast of world renowned. Tony grows a beard to hide his chin, swaps it with Earl so it glistens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
Download the pod, you won't get enough of these dapper chaps talking deadly fluff. In Hobo Gulch they run a homeless mission, clanging and banging with the pentagram of kittens.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
They enjoy their whiskey and local craft beer. By Odin's unkempt pubis we give a cheer. Tony's a raccoon when he's booziest. Don't be a savage, be an enthusiast.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
On the frozen tundra they call it a lock. Tony likes to masturbate in a sock. Brian pisses rocks cause it feels so great. I still don't know who the fuck is Tate.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier.
The boys will let you know when there's a spurter. Due to male pattern baldness, they don't wear curlers. Stay salty, people, that's their closing line. And don't forget, have a beer, you'll be fine.
Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
Hey enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 374.
The Jamaicanist podcast on the network.
Wow. Well,
Back in business, baby!
for longtime listeners, you'll realize that's not Tony.
We're the untoniest podcast on the network.
Certainly are. Yeah, more Brian.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Joining me once again is our pal Heno. So,
Hola.
Yeah, so, and obviously I'm Brian if you didn't already know that.
I'm happy to be here tonight. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah. Tony's off on assignment, so.
Yes.
Just had a lot on his plate this week and said he needed a week off, so figured, hey, I'll bring Heno back on, because why not? Good times. And, gives you the opportunity to, show off your superior soundboard skills to him.
Oh, and I brought it tonight. In case you guys I know you guys probably miss Tony, so I just
no one misses him.
We have Fury Road. Oh shit! Something bad must have happened.
Uh-oh.
Wow. I hope they catch him.
Oh,
wait.
Man. What?
Yep. They got him.
Yep. Feels just like a normal episode.
It does, yeah. Just. Yeah. How's your week?
I feel like you already know. No. For those who aren't aware, Heno and I are also on a podcast called The Crazy Life, which you should go check out. We talk about, I don't even want to pigeonhole it into mental health anymore. I really feel like it's more of a just wellness, mindfulness kind of, Yeah,
it kind of has become that.
Yeah, I think it's honestly more of that than it is mental health sometimes, but, it also encompasses that. But anyway, go check that out. Wherever fine podcasts are sold. So I went to the neurologist this week, and unfortunately I already told you this story. I didn't realize you were going to be on the show, or I wouldn't have told you this story, but I'm going to tell it again for anyone listening. Went to the neurologist, and there's a guy in the waiting room that
oh, yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about football because the Lions had just freshly whooped the Patriots the day before. And we were talking about that for a little while. And then all of a sudden, his phone dings. He pulls it out of his pocket, and I just see him he's just got that look on his face. And he just looks up at me and goes, "Bitches, am I right?" And I just lost it. I just could not stop laughing. Because it was just so matter of fact. Just.
Bitches.
Yep.
Am I right?
Yep.
So good.
I hope he got all that sorted out.
I just love the fact that, like, who else would he have said it to?
Yeah.
If there was like this little old lady, would he have changed it up a little bit, or would he still done the same delivery?
That's a good question, because about 3 minutes later, there was a woman that came, back into the waiting room, while she was waiting. They were doing some paperwork or something for her, and I wonder if he would have said it if she was sitting in there. Probably not, because she looked like the type of woman that would go upside his head. But, it was, whatever. It made me laugh. And it was nice, actually, talking about football or whatever, because, it kind of helped pass the time a little bit, because usually they're pretty quick there, but they were a little slow this time, so they had, they're busier, is all, So
when you were telling me about that last time, he was going to give you some Valium to go do the whole MRI again?
Yeah, that's it. He did when I went this time.
Okay. And are you going to do it again? Because I don't think I asked you that last time.
Yeah, that's funny. I actually was, I had therapy today, and I was talking with my therapist about it, and I was like, because my big the thing I run into now is I've never taken Valium, so I don't know how much it'll help me.
Okay.
So I don't know, I've taken Xanax before. I know what one Xanax will do, kind of a thing, so I don't know. But, I guess really, worst case scenario, I do the same thing I did last time,
That's true.
I freak out and
crawfish.
Yeah.
Right out of that thing. Just flap the tail and go.
Man. I mean, like I said before, they were great about getting me out of there. But unfortunately, there's no, hurry up. switch. You know, it's still like,
Oh no, it's still,
you know.
So how many is he recommending you take?
He prescribed 2. Like that's all my prescription is 2.
Yeah.
He said to take 1 for, and then, if I need to take another one, like right before.
I would just take the 2.
Somebody else told me that too.
Yeah. Because I did that before my vasectomy.
Yeah.
He gave me 2. And it's something that in the past, the only time I would ever take like a couple would be if I was drinking.
Mm-hmm.
So like, I had never felt Valium by itself.
Right.
Because I was always intoxicated too.
Right.
So I took the 1. And I, you know what? Actually, I take that back. I've taken one before when I had neck problems because they would give me that Flexeril stuff. And the problem with Flexeril is the next day, you might as well just count me out. It was like I'd wake up in the morning and just tap out right then and there.
Oh,
like,
wow.
you know, it was a great muscle relaxant, but it had a hangover effect, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And so they gave me Valium instead, and they said, try this. And I would either take a half to 1. And I remember like 1 Valium is like nice, mellow, get you to sleep, relaxes. But so this was the first time I'd taken 2 in a long time. And I remember by the time I was getting out of the car and walking towards the doctor's office, I was like, yeah, everything's just fine.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Well, that's the thing is,
melted in the seat a little, and yeah.
I would just as soon they just put me to sleep, do it,
Yeah.
and be done with it. You know, like but again, I know insurance companies don't like that because there's a higher risk of, you know, putting you under versus giving you, you know, Xanax or Valium or, what's the other one? Ativan, you know, something along those lines. So, you know, it's like, I get it, but at the same time, it's like, look, the other would guarantee work, you know, like boom, done, over with, move on. Yeah. But, you know, they don't want to pay an anesthesiologist. So whatever.
Now, if you do shoot down a couple of, you know, tasty beverages along with it, I have seen someone, well, granted he took 4 Valium.
Oh my.
But I literally watched somebody standing perfectly still behind a bar suddenly just topple over.
Wow.
Like there was no reaction, no arm shot out, nothing.
Geez.
Literally just.
I did that when I was really drunk once. Like I just face planted on the floor. In my head, my arms were going out, but they weren't. And
but
just
that's what Adam said. Yeah. He literally was like, my brain was telling the arms to go out.
Yeah.
And I think there's one good thing about hanging out with the bar owner is that when he has too much, he opens up the Belgian beers, which are delicious.
Right.
And what was funny is like we were all blaming that. You know, it's like, man, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Or maybe those 4 Valium.
Yeah, couldn't have been that.
Yeah, it couldn't have been that.
Yeah, right.
But it was great. He's like, man, I swear I stuck my arm out. Did I stick my arm out? I'm like, nope.
Right?
No movement.
That's what I thought the same thing. I thought I stuck my arms out. My dad's like, you sure didn't. And
in front of your dad too, huh? That's great.
Right in front of my mom and dad. I was just right in the living room. Just
better.
So my dad helped me to my feet and was like, all right. He's like, let's, you know, help me into the bathroom and, you know, literally wiped my face off and stuff because it was
and your butt?
Yeah. Well, I mean, you gotta stay clean, right?
Hey.
No.
You're like, Dad, there's something I do every night.
I went boom booms.
I go back to front though.
Oops. Well, naturally.
I fold, I don't crumple.
I just take the whole roll and just get up in there. Yeah, so he thought I broke my nose.
No way.
Cause my nose was bleeding pretty bad because it just, like I said, I just face planted in the floor.
Oof.
And the first thing he did, he was like, okay, he's like, let me look, you know, and he touched my nose just gently and I was, you know, I didn't really flinch or anything. And he's like, okay, he's like, well, you're pretty drunk. So maybe it's that or you didn't break it. He's like, I'm hoping you didn't break it.
How old were you?
man, I don't remember, early like
20s,
mid-20s.
20s? Okay.
Yeah, something like that. Early to mid-20s, somewhere in that
Gotcha.
range. Yeah. It was just a night that I went to a wedding and they just kept feeding me drinks. I was just at the bar and the bartender never let my glass empty.
Wow.
And yeah, and whew. And to this day, I'm pretty sure that's still the drunkest I ever got.
You've been, oh yeah.
Yeah.
If you face planted, don't catch yourself, that's...
Because most of the other time, I mean, I did fall one other time and wasn't able to get my arms out, and that was because I was leaning down to get my shoes, and I just went. And I just...
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah, I just tumbled into the wall, basically.
Yeah.
Almost like if you just did a somersault into the wall, that's basically what I did.
Yeah, you just kept rolling.
Yeah. And just thump into the wall on, you know.
Now, my question is, did you pop up, though, immediately?
Oh,
You'd be
yeah.
like, I'm good.
Yeah, of course. It's like, I'm fine.
I'm fine. Good.
Yep. Stupid
Good to
wall.
do that.
Yeah. Yep. So, yeah. Yeah, I'll keep everyone updated on, how that goes. I'm super anxious about it. I think and I think that's part of the thing with, another thing with the putting me under is it's like, if I just get there and they're like, boom, I'm done. That's it. That's the end of my anxiety, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas, well, and I mean, I guess, with the other, once I take the pill, that once it kicks in, that'll help, but it's, that's the part that just sucks now is it's like, I just want it over now and I just don't want to experience it. I just don't want to feel like I know that thing is still in front of my face, but we'll see. Hopefully I have low tolerance to the Valium and it just makes me loopy as hell and
even better.
And I'm just like, woo, the whole time.
You just bring your little liquor flask with you. You're just before, hey, hold on a second.
Yeah. Right.
Let me get a hit of this.
Yeah. It would be funny. Like, not even a flask. Like, I just pull out like a fifth and I'm just like,
reaching into your shorts. You're like, hold on, I keistered this.
Yeah.
You just pull out the whole fifth.
They're like, it's not illegal to bring that in here. Like, you shouldn't, but. Like, oh.
Do you got it? Can I disinfect this?
Yeah. You got
a wipe?
Yeah. Or at least some gloves, maybe? You
got some gloves?
Yeah.
I need to drop my jockeys.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, right? Terrible. Yeah. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. Like I said, I want it over with because I want to have it done, because the doctor wants me to have it done so he, so he can do his job,
Mm-hmm.
But I don't, I just wish I could skip it, I wish like the EEG was enough,
Yeah.
But whatever, we'll figure it out. Like I said, if I feel myself still being anxious, honestly, if I still feel really anxious before I lay down, I'll just be like, nope. I just won't even put myself through it,
I honestly, to Valium, if you feel any anxiety on 2, just even walking up to the machine, I would just bail out.
That's what I'm pretty much thinking, yeah.
Because, I mean, it's hard in there. I mean, it is.
Yeah.
I've done it once.
And it's not just an MRI. I have to have an MRA also, and I have to have with and without contrast for both. So essentially I have to have like 4 tests. So I'm going to be in there for an hour,
Oh.
Yeah. So it's, yeah. That's why I'm not looking forward to it.
Yeah.
That's really why I wish they would just put me out. It's just,
just so long.
Just simple, Yeah. Because I don't have any adverse reaction to, I've been put under before, and the the only thing is I get emotional when I wake up, That's about it. Like when I had my knee
Really?
surgery, I was sobbing like a baby when I came out of it.
Did you hug the doctor?
No, but like I forgot what it was. Jen can tell you the story. But I was super emotional when I came out of it.
You wake up and you're in restraints. You're like, oh, I've heard. Did I try to punch somebody? You're like, no, you just kept trying to hug everyone and say how much you love them, man.
Yeah. Did I turn into a werewolf? No. Dang it.
Just a big softie.
More like just a giant teddy bear.
Teddy bear. Yeah, just sharing the love.
But a violent one, right? No. Dang it.
Like with long teeth, sharp claws. No. Soft, cuddly.
Like, okay.
Furry belly.
Maybe next time. Yeah.
All right.
That'd be about it, too. That really would be. So, yeah. Oh, well, we'll see. We'll see. Trying to think what else this week. I haven't really done a whole lot this week. It's been, I went and got another testosterone shot. That was a good time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. I don't know if they're nurses or assistants, whatever they are. Mm-hmm. She, I gave her most of my supple butt cheek for her to jam that thing into, right? Like, I exposed it.
You fully offered.
Yeah, and I'm sure she was probably just all, like, almost fainting because, she's like, but...
Seductive sex.
Exactly. But when she's like, okay, 1, 2, 3, boom, she hit my waist. Not quite my waist.
Disqualified.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, this time it hurt. Like, not a lot, but it hurt. The shots in the ass don't hurt much.
No.
Cause it's all meat,
Yeah, and it kind of burns a little, but...
That's it, yeah. It's no big deal. But, yeah, that one bugged me for a little while. Like, it was a little tender,
Ow.
Yeah, she was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Like, what did she do? Like, seriously, what did she do? Like wind up for a pitch or a swing, and then at the last minute closed her eyes?
Maybe.
Like, and then went a foot off.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
she
there
stood.
you have this magnificent target.
Yeah.
Of white flesh.
Mm-hmm. I think she stood back and just threw it like a dart, probably.
Like, what was she distracted by?
Yeah. Well,
look,
my ass.
A mole.
Yeah. It's like, what a nice specimen. It was just too much for her, apparently. No, it's funny though, because she's given me my shot almost every time, and it was just. I think what it is I think they get in the habit of trying to do it so fast because so many people have issues with needles. I'm not one of those people. Yeah. Needles don't bug me at all. I mean, if it was some giant ass needle, maybe, but nah, not that, but anyways, yeah, that was fun. And
now,
I did laugh on the way. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Oh.
I'll hold.
Okay, I was going to say I laughed on my way out because there was a guy at the counter at the checkout, and he the woman said something about, okay, you owe, and I think, it was like whatever it was, and he's like, really? He's like, I've already given you my dignity today, which tells me exactly what he had done.
Yep. And he didn't even take me out for a drink.
Right. Well, then, yeah, he actually, cause she laughed and he's like, don't I get a lollipop or something?
Exactly. No shit.
And I was like, he's right. If you get a finger in the ass like that,
but,
right? You get a finger in the ass like that, yeah, you should get a shot afterward or something,
I know.
Right?
Take me out for a fucking hot dog or something. But I'll take the lollipop.
Yeah.
No, I was going to ask you is, have you noticed any more hair growing anywhere?
No.
Where it hasn't been? No?
No.
No acceleration of growth anywhere?
Uh-uh.
No?
No. Boy, that'd be something,
Scary.
wouldn't it? If I started taking that and my hair came back on my head. No.
Looking at porno more than usual.
Well, I mean, I pretty much am always looking at porn, so
Okay.
no. No, honestly, I've never really been a porn person. Like, it's just never really been my gimmick. So, you know, maybe it will be now. No. Yeah.
Well, that's what I was going to say. You might have that more of that visual stimulation now.
Yeah.
Because you were a low T-boy before.
Yeah. Yeah, and for who knows how long, you know? It's fun. So, yeah. But I've been feeling like I feel like I'm feeling different, you know? Like I'm hitting that point where, from what I've read, like this is the point where you kind of really start to notice more stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm noticing my joints don't ache as much as they were, you know, and that's one of the things that it says on there is, you know.
Okay.
You know, one of the things that blew me away was that actually one of the things on there said that you may start feeling more creative. And I was like, really? Apparently low T can also sap your creativity. And I was like, huh. So, such bullshit. I feel like I've been robbed.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
Huh.
Yeah. So, yeah. I think that's about it for me for the week. How about you? What's up?
Let's see. I had a pretty kick-ass week at work.
Mm-hmm.
That was nice.
Awesome.
And the one thing, like, I had a couple hang-ups on last week. It was like, or the week before, whatever it was. It was like I got to do something again that I'd kind of screwed up before and do it right, you know. And that was pretty awesome. And it was a great week. Oh, I had one thing it's. I mean, this is going to fall on deaf ears to you, but so the gig I did last Friday night. There's a video clip posted on my Facebook page of us playing a song. And so before the show started, Tom stuck up the GoPro. You know, he was looking for a place to put it, and he put it up kind of high and right above my head. And so when the video came out, it's literally a shot looking down on my head. And I'm just like, huh. Didn't know I had male pattern baldness going on. Like, I'm like, that's a thin spot. Like, it's distinctive. And I'm putting my hand up there and I'm going, well, I don't feel anything. And then Sharon makes a comment about it.
Oh, no.
Like, oh, yeah, that was even better. She's like, you know, next time don't get a you know, and to be honest, I don't care.
Right.
It's like,
it would have been funny though if you were like, hey, blah, 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 I noticed this. And she would have been like, oh yeah, I noticed that like 3 years ago.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. That's like, I'm like, and she wants me to grow my hair out, and I've been like buzzing it really short. Mm-hmm. And when it's buzzed super short, you definitely can't notice it because you know the hair's already so small, you can't tell the difference. But now I'm like sticking my hand up there, going, okay, when does the reverse yarmulke start? You know,
Did I ever tell you, like, the way I found out with me was, like, I knew it was kind of moving, you know, like, on my forehead. Like, I knew that was moving back a little bit. But we had a meeting in the office at the one video store I worked at, and there was a camera up in the, you know, on the wall up in the air.
Oh, no way.
And the other manager guy was like, Stu, and I'm like, what? He's like, you got a bald spot starting. I'm like, stop it. You know, I'm like, whatever. Cause I had always had really thick hair, you know? And I'm like, whatever, dude, you know? And he goes, no, I'm serious. And he goes, look. And I turned and looked into the thing cause, you know, I could see, and I'm like, then I did the same thing. I'm touching it. I'm like, oh man. And I was like, well, maybe it's the way my hair's combed or something, you know? No, it wasn't.
Well, that was my thing too. Cause I was like, cause my hair's growing out, I had to style it. So I'm like, okay, did I like push too much forward? And I'm like, no, that doesn't happen.
Yeah. It's like you're hoping, you're grasping at what's left, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, please?
But like, when I was 22, people were predicting I'd be bald by the time I was 30 because I had a really high hairline and, well, too much methamphetamine.
I hear that helps. Yeah.
Yeah. You know, there's some chemicals in there that cause some bad shit. And that and the fact that my dad is like, was bald bald by the time he was 30.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing there. It was gone or, well, going, let's just say.
Yeah.
But I'm almost 50.
Yeah.
I have a little bit of gray on my temples.
Mm-hmm.
I have a little bit of gray on the front of my beard.
Yeah. That's a pretty good run, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm getting a little thin on the top.
Yeah.
Okay, it's time.
Yeah, I lost mine in my 20s, so
yeah.
It was my late 20s,
my
mid to
point.
late 20s, yeah.
I'm not going to sit there and,
It was weird, though, because mine went from, it's weird how fast it can go, though. Like, cause like, there was that, and then, like I said, I noticed that, like, in front, it went from having, like, a straight hairline to where all of a sudden I'm getting the peak. You know,
the widow's peak, yeah.
And next thing you know, the like you said, it's starting to grow on top a little bit, and I'm like, well, it's time to go short because, like you said, you can't notice it as much. Now, it also works against me. I have dark hair, so even going short, you can still see it because I'm extremely white. Also,
the contrast.
Yeah.
Shit, you know what? It's amazing that she didn't stick that needle into your dome.
Right?
I mean, Target?
I don't know how she missed, yeah. Man. Yep.
Yeah, so that was a little, it was fun. It was, like I said, to me it's fun just because I am not gonna fight anything about age. I'm just not. I mean, I might go get a testosterone shot if I'm not feeling like, I'm getting as erect as I should be.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I would do that.
Like it, in the office there, they've got a poster that was like, I think there was like 10 things. And it was like number 1 and 7 both have to do with erections. And then it's like, if you answer yes to either of those or 3 of the other things, you talk to your doctor because you might, have it tested. So it's, it's one of those things. Cause you're right. It's, you don't know, and you're not like me. I never thought of that, Yeah. The thought of it just never crossed my mind, because why would it, Yeah. So, if it wouldn't have been for my family doctor, because of my sluggishness and, what was it? There was something else. Whatever I said originally, it was, he was like, let's send you to the urologist. And he was like, let's take a look at these numbers. And there it was, so I'm just glad that they found that, cause like I said, it can't hurt. I'm 40. So just mathematically, my body's going to stop making as much testosterone anyway. So it's like, I picked a good time to start. When my body's starting to hit the bigger decline in testosterone is when I'm getting my injections. Yeah. So, now it's time to hit the gym and get ripped. No, no, it won't work that way. So it can make you, able to exercise better or more, but it won't, like, you're not going to gain mass because of the amount that I'm taking. You got to go to like GNC and get those giant tubs of testosterone and all that kind of crap. So
just work. The going and working out would give you enough of a testosterone boost to make you work out more.
Yeah,
it's like
exactly.
Just you're basically just supplementing what your body would make naturally. If you were in that mode.
Exactly. Yeah. They're giving me enough that it's trying to take me to normal,
Yeah, to normal. Yeah.
Whereas the other is you're trying to push yourself, you're trying to redline your, push as far as you can so you can get mad gains, bro.
Fuck, I went down that rabbit hole on YouTube and it was just unbelievable. And now, unfortunately, it just keeps popping up. It just keeps popping up. And it's like, the last one I saw was the before and afters, like the real mass guys, and now what they look like, and I'm just like,
oh, it's terrible, isn't it?
Well, and then there's just the sad ones where major surgeries needed and all this stuff. I was like, oh, what you did to yourself.
Yeah,
it's like, eesh. But it was it's kind of nasty. Like I had a 1977 Guinness Book of World Records book. And inside of it was Arnold. You know, the most perfectly developed man. And I remember looking at him going like, that is cool. And I remember looking at it going, that is cool. And I did that for years, you know, where it was like, I was kind of into it, you know, health and fitness and all this stuff. And then somewhere along the line, it just was like, okay, that's fucking gross.
Yeah.
Like when you can actually see this curly vein on the shoulder going across, I'm like, oh, I don't need to see that.
No.
You know?
Yeah, that's too far for me too. Like,
yeah.
It's like, no thanks. No thanks. I would love to lose some weight and get leaner, you know, like get into shape to where when I'm 60, 70 and whatever beyond that my joints, you know, maybe don't ache as bad, or that I can still move at that age and keep them from aching. That's my goal, you know. Yeah. I don't need to be swole.
I seriously, I mean, I'm lucky in that I have good genes. Mm-hmm. I just do. It's like, if I work on a muscle group, I'm going to see the results in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
It's just my body. Mm. But the reality is I want to stay strong so I can do the things I enjoy doing.
Right.
Which is like bending over and tying my shoe.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I can do that. Yeah. I'm fine.
Right.
I really don't need to do any more.
Dude, listen, there's enough Velcro and slip-ons out there. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Once you hit a certain age, you just start rocking the tall socks and sandals anyway. It doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Or Crocs, just whatever, you know.
Oh, I'm already there. I got the fleece line Crocs.
Oh, right. Because you hit that give no fucks level, and then it's just whatever, you know.
I go to the grocery store.
Yeah.
No fucks given.
Yep. You're just like, I'm comfortable. That's all that matters. Yeah. And people are like, wow, he gave up.
Well, I also make sure one of our grocery stores closes at 9. I make sure I go at 8:35.
Right.
There's the same people in there every week. They're used to seeing me at that hour.
Right. You know, it's funny. That's something I've never been able to, like, I've never done. I've never been I'm not I don't really wear pajamas anyway. I wear like t-shirt and shorts and stuff, but, even when I did wear pajamas, I was never the type to like go out in them. If I'm going out, I will change. You know, like I don't wear slippers or anything like that out of the house generally, unless I'm like walking the trash out or something, you know, but otherwise it's like, you know, I put my shoes on and I don't know why. It's just something about me. I've just never been that type, you know. Like, honestly, if I had kids, I don't even think I'd be the type to, you know, just be like, whatever, and just take them to school like that because you're coming back home and whatever. I'd still probably get dressed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I'm just weird.
Well, I noticed, like, the other thing about my week that was great is I got to rehearse again with the band on Thursday night, and I just realized it's like, you know, these guys are kick-ass. I mean, they're seriously kick-ass. And I'm really enjoying it, and there's just moments of tightness, and they're serious musicians. They really take what they're doing seriously. And not that the other guys that I play with aren't, but there's just a talent level, and they're really good. And so I'm really enjoying it. But I noticed I wore my Crocs to rehearsal with whatever shirt I've been wearing for the last 2 days.
Dang,
when I got home, and who knows what stains were on my sweats. I got there and I'm like, I could actually. Well, I hadn't changed my socks, right? So I had my socks in my work boots all day, and then in the Crocs. And there was one point where I'm playing where I'm like, yeah, smell me, and that's not cool.
Like, oh man, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's the worst, isn't it? Like every once in a while that'll happen, you know, like I'll be somewhere. And you know how it is. It's like, you know, once in a while, like, you get up and you're like, I'm fine. I don't need to take a shower right now. I'll take one later or whatever. And then something happens and you don't get to go home as quick as you want, or it's a little warmer than you thought. And it's like, and then you're doing something. You're like, is that me? Like, oh man, that is me. And it's like, I can't leave for another, you know, like I'm stuck here in this.
I just thought this building had flies.
Yeah, it does.
They're behind me.
Yeah. Why do they keep landing on me?
I mean, yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that's what I got.
All right. Well, that's fun. You know, I mentioned on the Crazy Life about the Screen Time app, and I was going to mention that in here too. to anybody who doesn't know, in the new iOS update, there's a setting that you can look at, it's in the settings, right? Yeah.
Yep.
And it tells you like how many pickups you average. What is it per day? I know it's per day and per hour, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
And it'll also tell you like, you know, what you spend most of your time on, whether it's, you know, social media, productivity, games. And it's a really interesting, really interesting app that I think a lot of people, when they look at, are going to be very surprised at. Either the time, the amount of pickups, or what they spend the most time on. You know, because I think there's going to be people who think that they spend more time doing productive things, and then when they look, it's going to be like all social media, you know?
Oh God! And now I've got a week too.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because I've had the update for a week now, so now it's giving me a week average. And it tells you how much you're up or down from the previous week. Interesting.
Oh man.
And how much above average I am on the daily basis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's...
Wow.
So want to take a guess at what my number one app is?
I can't tell because mine's kind of thrown off by it.
Mine's accurate. It's Twitter. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Mine's my alarm clock, but that's because I leave my alarm clock on all night long. I have an alarm clock app, a special one.
Yeah.
And so I just leave the screen up.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Right? So that kind of throws it off. But my next one is Kick. 54 minutes on Kick.
Yeah, well, yeah. You know, it's funny. Kick isn't even in my top, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, my Twitter is
8, 9.
way down.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My Twitter is my 9th. What's weird is my podcast is so low, but I guess that's just because I turn it on and close it out.
Yeah, probably. Like, Kick is 10th for me. But that's because I don't stay, like, in our chat thing there. I'm in there like once or twice a day. I don't stay in there very long. So
that's what, this is what's, all right, okay. So I've got 6 hours on productivity. So evidently my alarm clock is productivity.
I would think so, yeah.
So if I take that out, like realistically, all right, alarm clock was 6 hours and 2 minutes today. I had 6 hours and 32 minutes of productivity. So that really means I had 30 minutes of productivity, 2 hours of social, and 18 minutes of reading and reference. So even still, my total is about 3 hours.
Oh, wow, that's it?
Yeah, because that's...
I mean, you have a job, I don't. Mine is 7 hours and 18 minutes a day, so...
Well, this was my day off.
Oh, okay. I'm looking at the week also, so...
So if I go to the week...
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's you know what? It's my alarm clock that's throwing everything off.
Yeah. That's too bad. You'd think that somehow they would, you know...
I could probably eliminate it.
Yeah.
Somehow out of the rating. It's really cool. I mean, it really is neat.
Yeah. I thought it was interesting when you look at, like you said, because you can look at, you know, the percentage you're up or down from the week. I'm actually down 4%, so that's...
I'm up
shocking.
40, but... So, messages for the week, 6 hours. Facebook, 4.5 hours. Kick, 3 hours for the week. That's Safari, and then podcast. But still, podcast is only still an hour 27, but that's not surprising.
Yeah. Twitter is
it's crazy.
19 hours and 15 minutes.
You know what? Here's one. 26 minutes on my calculator.
Wow. You're doing lots of maths over there, man. Dang, son.
What am I thinking? I'm a money guy or something?
Must be. Damn. I know.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So one last thing before we move past this here. How many pickups do you have per day in your week?
It says 73 per day. Total pickups 517.
Right, mine's 133 per day, 933 total. I need to put this damn thing down.
Man, and I thought I was on this thing a lot, but I'm not feeling so bad.
Right? See, that's what I'm saying. It's like it's I said there'd be surprises.
I like the fact that at least there's an average, so I can see like, oh boy, I've really gone up this week, and it actually makes it kind of cool. If like, okay, if I can reduce it by X amount of percent every week, that's a good thing. Yeah,
exactly. Or if nothing else, well, I was going to say if you could realize that you're upping your productivity app usage, like, because I would assume reading probably fits in that. So if you were reading more or something like that, that would, but I don't know. That doesn't mean you're reading anything worthwhile.
Well, that's what I was going to say. It's like, because there's a reading and research thing, so maybe it depends on what you're reading.
Oh, right. Just crap. NationalEnquirer.com. All day long.
I'll have to look up my iPad, because my iPad is my lunch and my when I get home.
Oh, yeah. I can't on mine because they're old, so I can't, I can't download the iOS on there. Unfortunately, I'd love to see my iPad. Well, I don't use my iPad a lot anymore. I use it at night, and I pretty much just play games on one, and the other one I use mostly for, I told you before, it's my comic book reader and my, podcast player. It's basically, because it's so old, that's about all it's good for anymore. I can still watch movies on Netflix, though. That's really weird. Of all the apps that still work, Netflix still works great on it. Netflix does. And not just works great on it. You'd think that maybe it would be low quality or no, it still works real well. So, yeah.
Oh, I didn't have it on my iPad. All right, well now it is.
Oh, jeez. Way to go, Henno. Yeah. Ruined it all.
Yep. Mm-hmm. I just blew the show.
Yep.
Here, so, hold on.
What? Yep.
Some serious booing there.
Yep. That's how we're all feeling.
Yep.
Oh, man. So, shoot, what was I going to here? I forgot.
Some good stories?
Oh, yeah. So, so I wanted to talk about, the Joaquin Phoenix, first images as the Joker. Because, much like back when Heath Ledger or Jared Leto, when their first images leaked, the internet pretty much is either, like, oh my God, this is the worst thing ever, or, oh man, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Where do you stand?
Well, all right. When the video first came on and you see him in what he's wearing, which is like 70s dumpy dude.
Yeah.
And his face is downturned and he looks like when he's on the streets of LA being crazy Joaquin. Right? I was like, oh Lord.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yep.
And then as they get closer and the makeup goes on and you see that little bit of an eyebrow raise and the mouth turns up and he all of a sudden becomes Caesar what's the guys in the Colosseum?
Gladiators?
Gladiator. In the movie Gladiator, where Joaquin plays the fucked up evil Caesar son guy, and he's just deceptive and right. All of a sudden, I saw that Joaquin, and I was like, "Oh fuck, this could be good." Because I heard an interesting point this week about I think it was on Pittsburgh Nerd Podcast, and they were talking about the fact that the Leto Joker is a guy that could run a mob, right? Because he's already got an organization.
Okay.
And he's got that whole mentality. He's not super chaotic, right? The Heath Ledger Joker was chaos.
Right. That's
pure chaos.
Right. The Joker I prefer is the Heath Ledger, that mentality. I've always
how
liked
can
that
he
one.
keep an organization together?
Good question. Yeah,
Right?
exactly. Mm.
Right? And that was the point that Sean was trying to make, is that the one thing he likes about Leto is you can now do tie-ins with other bad guys because you have somebody that at least has, I'm not talking about loyalty or anything like that, but at least some familiarity with coexisting and working together with others for your own ends.
Mhm.
Whereas Heath Ledger just doesn't give a fuck. He'll kill anybody. And
Yeah.
after a while, nobody wants to work with him. Right.
Right.
So I saw a little bit, the first thing I saw was, okay, this is not exciting. And then when I saw the eyebrow raise, I was like, oh shit, this could be good. Cause he could be the guy that can keep a group together.
Yeah. What's interesting to me was, like you said, the first thing I saw was a still of just the makeup. And I'm like, wow, it looks like Tommy Lee Jones is playing the Joker. And, and I saw other people make the same reference, cause, Joaquin Phoenix is looking kind of old now. I didn't realize how old he was looking, but whatever, it's fine. But then I saw the video where they do that slow transition with the like flashing, which by the way, to me is a brilliant piece of work.
Brilliant.
Whether you like him or not, whether you whatever about this, I think it was a really cool way to show it off and show the transition to where he goes, like you said, from that frumpy dude to all of a sudden and he's in that, and then he smiles a little bit, and it's not a just like, oh, I'm happy to be here. It's more of a like, I'm crazy smile. And I don't love the like eye makeup stuff. Like the little triangle and stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't hate it. Like, when I saw Jared Leto with the freaking grill, I wanted to just kill anyone who was involved in that. This at least, much like the Heath Ledger one, when I first saw the Heath Ledger one, first of all, at the time, I was like, man, I don't know, Heath Ledger, cause think about the stuff he was in before that, and you're thinking, where's the Joker performance in any of that, like you said, at least with Joaquin Phoenix, he's played weird characters, and he's played that, ruthlessness, that the Joker should have. And, then I saw stills from the movie where he's in full gear, and he's got like the purple trench coat, or the long purple coat, and I was like, that's more my Joker. Like, it feels like more traditional Joker. That's what I want. And, and overall, it's like, I can't look at that, at it and go, and honestly, part of it has to do with how much I loved Heath Ledger as the Joker, because I was, with that, I was like, man, I don't know about this, and how much I enjoyed the way he played it, because, like what you said about the Joker, I agree with, in the whole running an organization, but there's also an element to him that I've almost always felt like he doesn't care if he runs an organization. He's just out for chaos sake. And in the end, if he's by himself, okay, he just does what he wants to do, and, essentially, or he's doing what he does for Batman. Like, in his head, like Heath Ledger played it, it's like, I'm doing this for you, basically, kind of a thing. So, and again, I kind of saw a little of that. So I'm on board. I like the look. I think overall, I there's nothing that I'm like, oh man, about the look of it. Although, I just have one thing, like, does the Joker never wash his hair? I mean, No, I'm kidding. It's fine though. I don't care.
I'll be this way. I was at first I was like right away like, ooh, judgment, and then by the end I was like, okay, open mind.
Well, that's why when I first saw that still, and I was like, and like I said, and then I saw that little piece of business with the flashing and the transition, which, like I said, I felt was brilliant, a great way to show it off. And when you watch that, and you're just like, as you see it happening, and you're like, it kind of grows on you through it. So it felt weird to not immediately want to go into outrage. I'm changing, Heno.
Yeah.
What the hell, man?
It's funny.
Yeah. But, yeah. I am curious to see. I've been off and on just reading people's reactions to it, because the internet reactions to stuff like this always make me laugh, you know? Mm-hmm. When people, you know, really tear something apart like this. And I'm like, okay, at most, we've seen, 30 seconds of...
Seriously.
You know, and there's no talking. We haven't heard the laugh yet, which that's something that I'm always about, because, you know, you just hope it's not a terrible laugh. You know, but, you know, we'll see.
Yeah, the thing that I that happens all the time in these, anytime you hear about somebody,
mm-hmm.
we instantly, this is what I realized with this video clip. Just a good actor can do what Joaquin Phoenix can do with just his face. And I forget about that.
Yeah.
That really good actors have the ability to take on a persona and put that mask on and let you see what they want you to see. And it was a good reminder of that just because somebody right off the bat, you go, I can't picture it. You got to see it.
Right.
Because the right actor can.
Well, that's what I said, you know, like I said with Heath Ledger, when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know, man. I was really not impressed, you know?
Yeah.
And, you know, and don't get me wrong, I liked the mentality of how he played the character. There's some things like how he kept licking his lips that drove me batshit, and no pun intended, you know. You know, so it's not like it's not that it was perfect, but it was still, you know, and that's always tough too, because everybody's kind of got their own Joker, you know, like, if you've been reading comics a long time, or there's plenty of people who don't have a mindset of a Joker because they don't read comics.
Yeah.
Or if they know him, like some people will know of like the Cesar Romero Joker, which is way different, you know? So it'll be, should be interesting. But you're right though, that initial, snap to judgment. Actually, it reminds me of when Tony and I did that one Enthusiast with Chris Waffle, because he's got a song about that. I can't remember the name of it now, but he's got a song about the internet, like it's something like "It's New and I Hate It" or something like that. I can't remember what it is, but it's something like that. There's just how the internet just, you know. I haven't even experienced it yet, but it's awful kind of a mentality, you know? So I also mentioned to you about watching the Dark Phoenix trailer.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? I'm not feeling it.
You know what? It's like they already did it.
Yeah.
It's like we're going to try to do this the right way because we fucked it up the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just too close. It's too close. It's like we're doing the same thing with different actors.
Yeah, right?
And even though the actors are far better, they're far more compelling.
Mm-hmm.
I like this run.
Mm-hmm.
It still is like, I'll wait for video.
Yep.
I'll wait for it to be on my TV.
Yeah.
Because the last one left me already feeling a little.
I still haven't watched
the end.
What was it called? Age of Apocalypse or whatever it was called.
Yeah. Like, I liked it. I enjoyed it. You know, it was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
But by the end of it, when we got to the third act, I was like, I care.
Yeah. That's terrible. That's no good. It's watching it, you know, and the first thing I did was it's like, okay, this is not going to be told the same way the comics told the story. So I have to set that aside. You know, they have not told the whole X-Men, none of it. Days of Future Past, Age of Apocalypse, none of these things that have been named from, X-Men stories. They have not told them anything. Well, they've, you know, taken here and there from them, but they're not exact. You know, even like Logan, you know, Old Man Old Man Logan, essentially. It's not the same story. Anyway, once I did that though, and like I said, I had the same reaction you did. I was like, they did this and they screwed it up big time the first time they did it. They messed it up so bad that I was angry when I left the theater.
Yep.
Because it's a huge, iconic storyline in the X-Men universe. And it's like, if you're gonna it's like covering a song that's one of those like iconic songs. It's like, if you're gonna do it justice or don't bother, you know?
Exactly. But, like, I understand why they're doing it, and realistically, they have the space to do it.
Yeah.
If you look at audience, you know, like, how long ago was that last version of it, and where are we at now?
That's true. It has been a while. You're right.
Right? You look at the demographics, and you look at all that, and you go, okay, they have they legitimately have the space to do it.
Yeah.
But it feels a little bit to me like the same feeling you get from Ghostbusters being remade, or something that was amazing, and that really in your lifetime you're like, I don't need to see that redone again, and now it's redone. Except it's the other way, where it's so, like, if someone said, hey, we're going to do a new version of Waterworld that's better.
Yeah.
Not necessary.
Right. Right.
Even if it's been so long that they can, again, they have the space to do it. Let's just say, you know, something about being out in the ocean is popular now, whatever, you know, you know, however they twist it. Actually, you know what? It was like the Point Break.
Yes, that's a great example. A movie no one called for a remake of.
Yet they can do it because they can go on the extreme sports kind of angle, right?
Yep.
And younger people are going to gravitate to it because they look at the original one and they're like, yawn, boring.
Right. They don't identify because it doesn't feel, exactly. Which makes sense. There's stuff that our parents or, you know, whatever watch that, you know, they've remade in our lifetime and whatever. So, you know, you're right. I'll give you that. But I think my main problem was also, like you said, though, that it's like, it feels like they're telling the same story, though. Like, it doesn't feel like they're approaching it from a different way. You know? Well,
you know what it is? I think they're kind of a victim of circumstances, meaning that the character's the character.
Well,
so if you give the character these certain attributes, then the reaction of everybody else is going to be the same as it was the first time.
Essentially, yeah. Now, there is, they did have the opportunity to go a different way a little bit, though, because the way the original one, like the way that they're going with this one is it's set up, instead of her getting the power from, like when they're in space.
Yeah.
They're basically making it to where it's something that was just in her. It just was awoken. And, that was like the way they did it in the, Ultimate X-Men. In the regular X-Men, they did it where, you know, when they were in space, an entity basically, you know, joined with her and made her, you know, the Phoenix power. You know, she got the Phoenix power and then she became, you know, she ended up going crazy and whatever. But, so they could have done each one, you know, and then there would have been at least some different elements really to it to where it felt different. But it doesn't look like they're doing that. But I don't know. I watched it and I had the same reaction as you. I was like, video. Like, that's not a movie I need to go see in the theater. It didn't there wasn't anything in the reel that I was like, ooh, you know, there was.
Yeah, got to see it on the big screen.
Yeah. I mean, they tease all through the thing. You see a funeral. So clearly one of the X-Men dies. It's super obvious which one. I'm not going to say it here in case someone wants to figure it out themselves, but it's super obvious. You know, it's just like, that's not enough to draw me, you know, like, yeah.
Well, and I think a lot of the Apocalypse did nothing to bring me into those characters. Their first, I don't know. I like the actors. The actors do a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely do. They make it worth seeing it.
Yeah.
But spending money on it?
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, and this is the last one from Fox. After this, Marvel will take over any future X-Men movies. So,
okay.
So I think maybe that's, but it's just funny how it's like, okay, well, both times Fox is ending their arc of X-Men movies, it's with the Dark Phoenix concept.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, yeah. And the thing is, now Marvel is not going to be able to tell that story for a while. You're going to have to give it another 5 years, 6 years, something, whatever length it's been, 8 years, to let people forget it a little bit before you could do it again.
Yeah.
It's not like an origin story where you can reboot it like Sony's done with Spider-Man, 20 times or whatever.
Yeah.
So.
It's funny though, because from like a cinematography standpoint, like from a trailer setup,
mm-hmm.
I actually thought it was a good trailer.
Yeah.
I thought the visuals were good. I think everything about it was good. I was like, oh wow, look at this.
Yeah.
Looks a cool X-Men movie.
Right.
And I was like, but I've seen it already.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I love the fact that they're going to introduce Genosha finally. That's cool. But again, it's like, if this is the last one, it's like, I don't want you, don't introduce a bunch of shit that you can't do anything with after this. Just wrap it up, leave it, let Marvel get into Genosha and doing other stories. Let them tell those stories, But, whatever. I mean, it's not like Marvel can't, it's just the idea that, we'll see how it goes, but I'm with you though. I do like the cast. Like I'm probably going to be sad that a lot of them will not be cast again. Probably, by Marvel. They'll probably recast the whole thing. I really like Fassbender as Magneto, and McAvoy as Professor X and stuff. But
I think they've put in their time though.
I do too. That's the other thing is they've run their course. So
yeah.
Yep.
Nothing lost there.
Nah, I don't think so. But, yeah. So I'm curious how, like I said, curious. Oh, that doesn't come out till January though, doesn't it?
I don't know. And I was surprised at how together that trailer was.
Yeah.
It looks like they've done a lot of filming.
Yeah, that's what, I'm pretty sure it's not until January that it comes out, cause I was like, wow, a trailer already? Because I figured there might be a quick teaser or something like that, but it was like, no, that's a full-on trailer.
That's a trailer.
That's and like you said, a very you get a good sense of the story in that trailer.
You get the story.
Yeah. There's no, it's not vague at all. So, the only thing I can think of is maybe they were thinking of trying to get it out maybe before Christmas. And that maybe it got delayed and they moved the release date or something. I don't know. So. Alright, so what do you got? You said you got some
I had a couple of just funny stories and one of them that it's just one of these, it's just a science thing.
Mm-hmm.
They gave ecstasy to octopuses to see how they behaved.
When I hear stuff like this, I'm always like, who the hell sat in a room and was like, what we should fund?
It's like the funniest thing is the quote, Molly coddled octopuses were very playful in doing water acrobatics, and they show a picture and the freaking octopus's pupils are pinned.
Oh, I bet, yeah.
Fucking rave,
right? So what was the hope for it? What was the goal of this?
So there's actually there are neuroscientists studying this for actually they have, I guess, they have a similar way that protein binds to serotonin in brain cells as human beings do.
Okay.
And so this is a way to see how it would affect the octopus, which are, they're a shy loner kind of an animal, and to see if the octopi would, hang out a little better.
Yeah.
And there's this thing about where people start doing experiments with animals where I'm just like, do you really have to do this? Because how they get them, it's not like they give them a tablet and say, hey, want to pop a tab, or, hey, they actually put a solution of MDMA they dunk them in it.
Oh, geez.
Right? So,
wow.
Right? Because they absorb it through their gills.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah. I don't like that.
And so here's the part that I just didn't like. Dolan told The Atlantic the first dose was too high and the octopuses freaked out and did all these color changes.
Oh, jeez. Oh, okay.
I could just have the poor octopus sitting there just like, just eyeballs pinned.
Oh, man, right?
Heart rate in his chest.
Yeah.
Probably hearing in its head that,
yeah.
At the club. And just every single time changing colors.
Yeah.
Just, look, I'm this wall. I'm that wall. Look, I'm your shirt.
You're so soft, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. That, okay, here's the thing. A lot of the stuff they test on animals, they don't do on humans because they're afraid of side effects, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
They could test this on humans. They can do it in small enough doses and move the dose up and still stay completely in a safe range. Yeah. And get these effects on humans. You don't need to test this on octopuses. Yeah. Not at all.
In the end, it was really cool. Like this quote, I love this, is when they finally got the dosage right. When the octopus was on E, they're basically hugging the cage and exposing parts of their body that they don't normally expose to another octopus. Some were being very playful doing water acrobatics or spend time fondling the air stone, the aquarium bubbler.
Wow.
Which is great because E is the only drug that enhances your tactile sense.
That's why I was saying you're so soft. Yeah. It's
right.
Yeah.
So in the end, it was probably made an incredible research paper, and their findings are, because they're looking at what other creatures do we share, and does a drug that affects us affect another creature that, they're missing our entire consciousness and all this stuff, but they have certain similarities. So what's going to happen?
Right.
It's just the fact that they almost overdosed them and they're just like, I'm like, ugh.
Right.
Yeah.
That
was a pretty funny one.
Like, how do you not just start them on the tiniest dose? You know what I mean? And just slowly work. It's like, just dump them in that big bucket. Let's just see what happens.
They take it in their gills.
Yeah.
Like, don't you think you start small? But speaking of octopi, anyone that's followed my Facebook page has seen this. Seal slaps kayaker in the face with octopus.
This was great.
Fucking brilliant.
This may be my favorite video ever.
Yeah. And we'll get you the links in here if you haven't seen this. But literally, there's a bunch of kayakers down in New Zealand. And this seal comes up out of the water with a giant fucking octopus and bitch slaps this motherfucker in the face.
Yeah, and it's not like the seal's just coming out of the water and casually it looks like a targeted shot.
Wallops it.
It looks like if they were playing water polo, and you're just throwing it at the goal. That's what it was.
It was the seals against the kayakers.
Yeah, and the seals won because that was a hell of a shot. Yeah.
It was goddamn funny as hell. And then the guy's freaking out over like, there's an octopus attached to my kayak.
Yeah.
And the seal came around for another round, which is even hilarious.
Right.
And they're trying to like block him. I'm just like, oh.
You know what would have been funny is if the seal would have had another octopus.
Oh yeah, just
like,
lined up.
Where the hell are you getting these?
Just in reserve.
Yeah. And then the octopus are like, their pupils are really dilated, they're flashing colors, and you're like, oh no, the guy.
It's a rave.
Yep. Oh no, they got those E octopus.
I
couldn't watch that video enough, like when I first saw it. I just laughed and laughed.
I'm like, this is the best thing ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yep. Like, how do you, there's a lot of things people end up as, like, famous on the internet for and whatever. It's like, how'd you like to be that guy?
That guy. Yeah. I was the guy that got whoop-assed by a seal.
Yeah. It's like you're hoping Tosh .0 brings you on or something like that. It's about the best you're going to get.
Something. Anything. My last one is this year's, or the 2019 Guinness Book of World Records. And then there's all the usual crap. Guy balancing a guitar on his forehead for 7 minutes.
Sure.
A cat balancing 13 dice on his paw.
Sure.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Oldest trapeze artist. But the most powdered donuts eaten in 1 minute. This doesn't seem like much, but when you put it into perspective of what a powdered donut is like in your mouth, this guy ate 9 powdered donuts in 60 seconds.
Oh, jeez. I can't imagine eating 2 in 60 seconds.
No.
One is difficult enough.
Like my guitar teacher, when I was 13, and I'd go in and he loved those little mini Hostess donuts, right?
Yep.
And he would eat one of those and he'd get that little white powder on the side of his mouth.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's sitting there teaching me and talking to me, and the whole time he's going, that noise, and then he's got the white there, and I'm like, yeah, you need to wipe a little.
Yeah.
Okay, these are full-size donuts.
Right?
It's not the mini one even.
Yeah, you're going to look like Pacino and Scarface after that. Like you just buried your face in a pile of Coke.
He housed 9 of them.
Just, not to mention though, like that powdered sugar, it's like the first bite, it's kind of soft and everything, but after you get a couple, it starts getting like it's like coarse and everything. Yeah.
It blends with the saliva and creates a spackle.
Yeah.
In your mouth.
It really does. Yeah.
It does.
Man. The only thing I can think of is maybe that guy produces like an exceptional amount of saliva.
Yeah, it's like you got squirting videos. This guy's the mouth version of it.
Oh.
Wow, that's a great video. We could have him doing like oral sex on a chick and both of them are blasting.
Look like a squirt gun fight. That'd be fun.
Yeah. He just has these salivary glands, like it's like the permanent gleek, just like
Jesus.
It's like a fire hose comes on. But that first swallow of a real dry donut that just doesn't quite go down the throat.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine it. I mean,
that's like every bite of those.
Yeah.
So I said the first bite, it's nice, it's soft. If it's fresh anyway.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's like you said, it just turns into just like Quikrete. It's just
like I want to see I got to see the video of somebody videoed this. I haven't looked yet, but there's got to be a video of him looking like he's a freaking Gila monster, hawking down a mouse or something. Just
seriously, yeah.
I mean,
oh man, I don't know how, man. That's Kudos to him though, because first of all, he got 9 donuts, and second of all,
Yeah, I was like, whatever with the 13 dice resting on a cat.
Yeah.
Paw.
Whatever. Let's see that cat eat 9 donuts.
Exactly. You come talk to me.
That's right. Or let's see that cat hit a kayaker with an octopus.
With the octopus, yeah.
Then come talk to me. You're right. Yeah. Step your game up, people.
Yep. You got nothing.
Wow.
Yeah, so those are my silly stories.
Wow. That's silly, all right.
I do have a...
Shut up and take my money.
All right, well, hold on before you get to that. So, I noticed something today that has been going on for years, and I didn't realize it was going on, and it makes me incredibly angry to find out that it exists. Not because of... Not like I've been missing out, but because... It just exists. Are you familiar with Ticketmaster's Platinum program?
Oh, yes.
Oh my God. Because this started today. My mom, Bob Seger's going to be playing Toledo.
Oh shit! I just remember something else too. Yeah.
Okay. In January, Bob Seger's playing, and he's doing like his farewell tour or whatever. And anyway, so I started looking at tickets, And while I was doing that, like, I was like, oh, tickets don't go on sale until tomorrow. But it said, pre-sale, and then it, and I was like, well, I just want to see how much tickets were, because with it being in Toledo, you never, you don't know if it's going to be an expensive show or if it's going to be kind of mid-range. So, anyway, when I pull it up, it shows all these tickets, and the prices are just astronomical. Hundreds of dollars for these tickets. And I'm like, you're shitting me. I'm like, I know it's a farewell tour, but it's like, look, I love Bob Seger. But it's Bob Seger. You know what I mean? It's like, he was
playing at a fair a few years ago.
Yeah, it's like, this is not Fleetwood Mac on their final tour, or, like Pink Floyd getting back together or something.
Yeah.
And then I see the platinum thing, and I'm like, what the hell is that? So I look it up. And the best way I can describe this in a way is essentially, is that Ticketmaster's been doing surge pricing before Uber did it. Because that's what these tickets are, is they're allegedly, and this is interesting, I found a thing on this, they are supposed to, they had worded it as though they are they're better seats, like high demand seats or whatever, that are normally given to the band. And now what happens is, this allows the band to collect more of the true value of the tickets. AKA, stick it to the fans. Oh shoot, I forgot where I was going with this, damn it. Anyway, but, because those seats are in high demand, the prices just rocket up on these. Now, there was a thing in the UK, Ticketmaster got in trouble because they weren't actually better seats that they were providing for these higher premiums. Nope. And like, I was reading an article about like the Tragically Hip when they were doing their final concerts, and, how like, when the tickets went on sale, the one tickets were like $115 to $160. And then because of this policy, those tickets were all of a sudden like $1,600. And, it's like, on one hand, I'm like, you know what? Cool. If the artists are getting more money, I'm okay with that in a lot of the situations, because they don't get much money. There's not record contracts like there used to be, and, the streaming doesn't pay like they should get paid, and blah, blah, But on the other hand, it's like, I don't know, man. It's such an exploitation. It really bugs me because it's so ridiculous.
Well, and this week, they've also released that, which is something everyone knows has been happening, but it finally, came out, is they've been basically scalping their own tickets through their own subsidiaries, which we already knew about this long time ago that they were related, but it was just so blatant now that it's literally, so this is something that's come up a bunch in not, there's this young lawyer. She's in her mid-20s or whatever, and she's written a reason for Amazon being broken up as a monopoly. Okay. And it's gained a lot of traction because nobody has talked about antitrust for so long.
That's true.
I mean, it's been a long time. And antitrust law jurisprudence was basically put on the back burner.
Wow. The last time antitrust was probably talked about was probably with some sort of one of the sports leagues. At some point.
In a way, yeah.
That's probably about it, though. Yeah.
But mostly it's been having some that, it's more about lip service of preventing somebody from merging, but there's been no real action taken in a long time. And so she made a case, and yes, people can argue her case, and some people think she's, out of her mind, but she literally went back into history and started looking at case law and precedents and all this stuff. And she basically came up with a completely supported reason to break up Amazon. And it applies to Ticketmaster as well. Full on with Ticketmaster. There is the only, they literally control the market to the point where all they can do is jack the prices up.
Yeah.
There is never competition to lower prices.
Well, you know, the weird part is, before Ticketmaster, you could just walk up to the box office and buy tickets.
Yep.
Why does Ticketmaster need to exist? You know, I just don't see a need for it. These places can sell their own tickets. You know, they do it for sporting events and all this other stuff.
Well, and some artists do it.
Yeah. You know, it's like, why do you need, like, I remember years ago when, Pearl Jam wouldn't play anywhere that was a Ticketmaster venue, you know, and I was like, awesome, because it's ridiculous that when I buy if I buy 2 tickets, I've bought 3 tickets, you know, because of their stupid ass surcharges, you know, and, you know, it's like, if they charged a little extra for the tickets, I wouldn't have a problem, but they're charging literally another 50% for the ticket most of the time.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
You know, because anything else, if you pay a location or a locator service or a finder's fee, you're not paying 50%. You know, you'd pay a small percentage, like 5%.
Yeah.
You know, if they charge 5% over face on tickets, I'd never have a problem with it. I'd be like, well, you know, they gotta make their money. Okay. 50% is ridiculous. And now this crap.
Yeah. And this whole idea of like, oh, well, we're policing these resale companies to make sure they're not taking advantage of anyone. Except your own.
Yeah.
Like, they literally say that we go out of our way to police this.
Yeah.
These resale organizations, and they run their own and they let it slide.
Right.
And it's,
Meanwhile, if I have a ticket that's in high demand and I want to sell it, in a lot of states, I can't sell it for more than like a tiny amount over face.
Oh yeah.
You know, but they can, you know,
Yeah.
that's bull. You know, it bugs me to no end, because I remember years ago I had tickets to, man, I can't remember what it was now. Anyway, I had tickets to some concert that were fairly high demand tickets. I couldn't go. So I was like, well, I'll throw them on eBay. And I was like, this is sold out. They're good seats, you know, and I'm thinking, you know, maybe I can make a couple extra bucks. Like, I wasn't going to go stupid, but it was like, you know, that I had heard that tickets were selling for more, and I looked and I was like, oh, well, the state law, I think Ohio has an anti-scalper law that it's like, whatever it is, there's a percentage over face. That's as far as you can go.
You can go. Yep.
And I was like, well, okay, you know, and like I said, my goal wasn't to kill anybody with it. It was just, you know, like I said, you know, take a little advantage of it, sure. But, you know, like I said, now I'm reading this crap that, you know, $1,600 for a ticket that should be $160, and $160 is a crazy amount for a ticket, but that's at least normal price for, you know, the seating where it was, you know, so it's like, okay, that's the market, you know, but it bugs me that they're going to say, well, these are the best seats, you better get them now, which is going to immediately hike the prices up on them, you know, and and the fact that those are pre-sale tickets, so people won't know if they need to pay that money to get those seats. So you're creating demand and panic, which creates more demand. And it bugs me. That's why it bugs me so much, is because it's not, like, look, any concert of, you know, like, look, Metallica played Detroit here. I was like, oh, I'm going to get Metallica tickets. There's like 40 pre-sales. There were no good tickets left, you know, for the general public. They were gone. But the first wave of tickets and stuff were through like a credit card company or whatever, you know, and it's like, that's bad enough. And like I said, now you got this garbage going on too. It's like, you know, it's like, I'm curious to look tomorrow at the Bob Seger tickets to see what's available. You know, because I looked today and I saw where the premium price tickets are. I'm curious to look at tomorrow to see if those premium price tickets are still that level or if they've come down.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Because honestly, you know, like I said, it's Bob Seger, but I'm not paying $200 for a ticket to Bob Seger. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I've seen him before, and when I saw him before, I paid like $15, you know? I mean,
yeah, exactly.
The dude's from Michigan, you know, like he has played this area a billion times, you know?
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's
one that I heard this week that pissed me off, and I didn't look up the story, but it was just enough to hear it, about somebody who had movies removed out of their iTunes library by Apple.
For, like, how?
Because Apple no longer has the license with the company that put out those movies.
That's not cool, though.
And they literally removed them. These weren't rented, they were purchased.
That's not cool.
So the guy, you know, raises holy hell, and they're like, well, here's 2 free rentals.
It's like, okay, if you took like 10 movies out of my library and offered me 2 free rentals, I'm gonna be like, you can take both of those, spread your cheeks real wide, and stick them square up your ass.
Yep.
Like, if you're gonna take 10 titles from me, you need to give me 10 free movies, is what you need to do. At least 10 free movies. Really, you should give me more to make me feel like you've done something for me. You know, give me 11.
Right.
That's
and so
bullshit.
At first I was shocked, and then all of a sudden it made sense to me, because Eminem sued Apple a couple years back for royalties, because they were paying royalties based on a sale. But Apple doesn't buy product. They buy a license.
Right.
When we sign up for iTunes, what do we sign? A license agreement.
Right.
When we buy a song, we are only buying a license. It just so happens we can download it and put it on another device. You can't do that with the movies. It stays within their app. So that means they can grab it back, right?
Now, I knew about, because this has happened in the past with comic books. I remember there was something a long time ago that I don't remember if it was Apple or somebody, that they actually took comic books out of people's libraries and now actually thinking about it, I think it was for a similar reason.
Yep.
There was something,
sure was.
You know, like there was some, like, I want to say there was something like controversial in the book or something like that. So they pulled it right from the person's library.
Yep. So Eminem sued, and a bunch of other, you know, jumped on the bandwagon, because in music, the way that royalties go, as far as like the least amount is or let's say the most is a license. Mm-hmm. So if I license my song to be used with video, the artist typically gets 50% of that price. Apple was basically paying out on a per item basis, like as if they were selling a CD, a physical item.
Okay. So, yeah,
and
okay,
right?
get it. Yeah, this makes sense.
Right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And Eminem sued, and
which in fairness, like, it sounds like a dick move, but I totally understand it. It's just like when there's times when, like, Disney will serve a cease and desist to somebody, or like, was it a few years ago, Major League Baseball teams actually serve cease and desist to, like, Little League baseball teams because they were using their logos.
Famous marks, yeah, exactly.
And people were all up in arms, and I'm like, you have to protect your copyright, because
they have to protect the mark.
They have to, So it's like, I get it, and you're right. The value in whatever is that license, and you know that the bracket, or the way that the money structures work, you have to protect that. So, okay, I get it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened, and now this all makes perfect sense now, because we've been hearing rumors now for a while that the iTunes store will be shut down, and that there will only be Apple Music available streaming.
Yeah.
What's the lowest payout of all royalties. Streaming. It's even less than terrestrial radio.
Mm-hmm. Oh, jeez. Wow.
No wonder they're getting rid of it, because they used to pay a royalty like as if they were selling CDs.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're paying a royalty because they are licensing.
Right.
They're losing money like crazy, or I should say they're not making as much money.
Right.
So now they take their licenses and stream them. They only have to pay the artists. They're just doing a workaround to fuck artists some more.
Wow.
And here's the crazy thing.
Mm-hmm.
With the movies, you did not buy a movie or rent a movie.
Yeah.
You bought a license or rented a license.
See?
You do not own that movie.
Now, all the people who still want those physical copies of movies look way less crazy, don't they?
Exactly. And I've been buying CDs lately.
Yeah, because like hearing that makes me kind of like, because I was thinking about buying Lil Wayne's new CD, and I was like, maybe I'll just go to Target and pick it up,
Yeah.
Because I kind of don't want to do that, because now I'm like, man, I hope they don't do that, because I've bought a lot of music from iTunes over the years, Like, I almost want to move it to an offline computer so they can't take it,
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, it really like, and I was like, holy smokes, it all makes sense to me now.
Yeah, it does.
Like little story from here, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yep, they will shut down that iTunes store. That is not a rumor. That's the truth.
Yeah.
Because it's a financial decision.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Why would they keep it open if they can move you to streaming?
Yep.
Plus, and they'll make it seem like, think about it, they're like, well, instead of buying this music, this is $10 a month or whatever it is.
Well, yeah, it's cheap for you.
Yeah.
Fucks artists.
Mm-hmm.
And hard.
Yeah. And I hate the idea of it because I have limited limited data. I can't stream music all the time.
Yeah.
As much as I'd love to,
Yeah.
I can't. That's part of why I buy music. If it wasn't for that, and also from what you've told me of like this kind of stuff, so I'd rather buy music, but it's like otherwise I'd just stream it because, honestly, when I play my music, I just put it on shuffle anyway, so I could do the same thing in streaming, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
So.
My iPod is way smaller than my phone. And when I'm at the gym, I'm not carrying that fucking phone around. That's stupid.
Yeah.
And they're getting rid of iPods too.
Yeah.
Why? Because they're no longer selling any music.
Right. Shit. I didn't even think about that. Well, there you go. Heno bringing the good news.
Yeah.
I rant about Ticketmaster. Yep. I rant about Ticketmaster, and you bring the sky down.
But I got something funny.
Okay, well, let's hear that, because we...
Take my money.
All right.
Shut Up and Take My Money.
All right.
And it's a website called shutupandtakemymoney.com.
Oh, yeah, I've been there. Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, if you haven't been there in a while, you need to go there because you can buy a calendar of dogs pooping.
And who doesn't need one of those?
Funny.
How much is it, out of curiosity?
$14.99.
Ah, dang. That's too much for Christmas presents.
I mean, it was like literally there's an image of, I don't know what it is. His name's Stink. He's dropping a deuce at the beach. Then there's Butters. He's a French bulldog. He's out in the desert dropping a deuce.
Wow. See, what I need is for something like that to be put out at the $5 price point so I can get a bunch of them and give them out for Christmas gifts.
Yeah.
That's what I'm looking for,
Now, they do have something similar to that thing that you guys were talking about, like a little onesie thingy. This one's the Snorlax onesie from Pokemon. And then there's actually some neat stuff like an AT-AT bookends that look kind of cool. But my favorite was the zombie bowling ball, where it looks like you're putting your fingers in the zombie's nose.
Yeah, I've seen those. Yeah.
Love that stuff.
I actually almost got one of those years ago when I was bowling regularly.
Yeah, so this is a great gift site for this time of year.
Mm-hmm.
We got Christmas right around the corner. I highly recommend the shutupandtakemymoney.com.
Yeah, I do too. I haven't been on that site in a long time. I used to go there Actually, I used to go on there to look for stuff for this.
Money,
yeah. And then I got to where, you know, it's now just when I stumble across things. Most of the time it's just Funko Pops I want.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much all of them, but.
Yeah.
Or, 80% of them. So.
Yeah, all the Funko.
All of them, yeah. All right, awesome. Let's see.
What we got next?
Well, actually, I have something here that, I've been kind of mulling this over and kind of going back and forth about whether or not I want to do this, but I'm going to go ahead and say it and we'll see how it turns out. So, I've been trying to find a way to kick myself in the ass to start drawing, right? So, at the same time, Tony and I could, it would be nice to, get some help for the podcast, just to pay the server whatnots and that kind of thing. And, and also, gold chalices aren't cheap. So,
it is true.
And, my testosterone shots ain't cheap. So, no, just kidding about that. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is if you go to our Patreon, which, well, actually, I'm not 100% sure the Patreon's still up, actually, but if not, let us know and we'll work around it, like through PayPal or something. But if anyone wants to donate money to us, as far as, and in donation, I mean, like, in return, I will draw something and send it to you.
That's cool.
And essentially, the more you give, the more effort I will put into it. So
what's the stick figure level?
Well, I was gonna say, I would like to put the minimum at $5. That way it's, cause otherwise, it's really, there's no point because I'm spending on postage,
Yeah.
So, well, maybe. Either that or I'll just send you a postcard with a drawing on it. That may happen. It may be, you as a Funko Pop or a Lego character, or it might just be some nonsense I feel like drawing at the time.
That's kind of cool.
If you donate quite a bit, I certainly wouldn't be against, suggestions or whatever. So anyway, like I said, it's just,
nudes.
No dev. Actually, no, it's whatever. It's if Dev wants to commission me to draw him, that's a waste of his money, but whatever.
Hey, shut up and take my money.
That's right. Dev. That's right. But anyway, it's like I'm just trying to do something to kind of help us out a little bit. And like I said, it's kind of twofold because I think it can kind of kick me in the butt a little bit to get going, and maybe, I'm unemployed, Tony's, not, rich by any means. So, whatever happened,
he's living the high life. He fucking lies around in weeds all day.
Yeah, so, I just, like I said, just figure something might help us out a little bit. I just realized, like, as I was wording it, that I feel like I worded it badly. I don't want it to seem like it's like, it's like, please, we have to have money,
No.
like.
No, I don't think so at all.
Yeah. So, for now, and it's, I plan to try to get some, couple shirt designs done before long and see if we can, get that going again. But, in the meantime, like I said, there's that.
That's cool too. Because if it gets you inspired.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of great salty language stuff coming down the pike then.
Yeah. Exactly. That's the other thing is if I can get going there, like you said, there's a lot of stuff that I've wanted to do that I haven't done that I think could be a lot of fun. So,
I like it.
Or if you don't want it mailed to you, I can do, I can scan it and whatever, send it to you digitally. Also, like if you want an avatar for Twitter or something like that, I can
That's
something
cool.
along those lines. So again, minimum on it's $5. That way it's, it's a little bit worth the effort and such as well.
I tried to log into my Patreon. It told me to verify the device. It's my computer, you fucktards.
Exactly.
Well, oh, holy shit, I almost forgot one thing. My friend that got me to run for city council called me up and said she's stepping down.
Really?
She gave my name to the mayor.
Oh my.
Now that's not saying anything, and I honestly don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But
it's not nothing though.
Yeah, so there's a distinct possibility that by Monday night I am on the town council. Or
oh wow.
not.
That like that simple though, like not you don't have to.
The mayor assigns it.
Oh wow.
It's an appointment, like when a senator dies, and the governor gets to appoint somebody.
Right.
So I would finish out her term, which is a year and a quarter.
Oh wow. Which would certainly give you the opportunity to lay groundwork if you were to run after that.
To run again, exactly.
Yeah. It's not like giving you 3 months or something to where it's like, it's not that much time,
Yeah. So, and it's a year salary because it's a paid position.
Oh, even better.
Yeah. And so I was like, okay, well, I may have to, lay off a few things that I do, but I'll be getting paid. So,
right.
It's worth it. But yeah, it was just something that it literally happened today. And so I just sent an email to the city administrator and said, hey, this is what I heard, and I would be honored if the mayor chose that.
Yeah.
And if so, cool. Great. If not, no big deal.
Right. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Or, whatever. I mean, I know it's something you were interested in before, so I'm assuming you
that's
would,
the whole point,
yeah.
That's why I was kind of like, why wouldn't I be? I was into it before, so.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and, that also gives you a taste of it to where at the end of that, if you're like, wow, this isn't what I thought it would be, done.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, there is your Patreon. It still exists.
Yep. Yeah. It was funny because, I was, as I was saying that, mentioning it on here, I was like, I should have checked that first. But yeah, it is still there. And actually, I didn't mention that before. You can find that at patreon.com/saltylanguage. I think there's a link on actually, I don't know. I don't think the link's on the website anymore, but yeah, if you need the link, you can hit us up on Twitter and we can send you the link too. So, all right.
Cool.
I think that's all the stuff I have, except for the Q the W. So,
is that next?
Yeah, let's jump into that.
All right.
Oh, actually, no. I'm sorry. Hold on. Dude Mountain update first. What am I doing?
First, okay. Ready?
Yep.
Go tell it on the mountain.
Funny. Oh boy, what a crazy week we had in the league this past week. But as of right now, sopping up the underbroth is Gaga James 2 with the lowly 16 points. That's tough. That's a tough run.
That's it's a rough spot to be.
Yeah. I mean, just at this point, you're almost just gonna have to enjoy the muskiness of the soup.
And we have a lot of soup being produced.
There's a lot this year for sure.
This year.
Mm-hmm. And now in the top 5 is tied for 5th is my gimmick where Madden 16 makes the picks. Tied with helmets in your end zone. 4th place is the underdogs, where Garrett just takes the underdog in every game. So another gimmick. 3rd is Besotted Geek. 2nd is the First Lady of Space Violence, Jeannie of Hobie. And in 1st place, the experts. Henno's Dogs. Showing that clearly They know what's going on.
They do.
Mm-hmm.
14.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, 14 this week. Nearly,
14.
or last week, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
14 out of 16 possible. That's,
yeah. We looked back and last year only one person got 14 and that was Neil.
Yep.
And nobody ever got 13. And then there were, 12s and 11s and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Yeah, no one's got, as far as I know, I remember, I don't think anyone's ever got 15 or 16 in our league, but we'll see. We'll see. A lot of season left.
Yep. Fuzzy and Fatty bringing the goods this week.
Yeah.
It's just silly.
2-point lead right now, so.
All the gimmick teams are doing pretty good.
I know, yeah, of the top 5. Well, there's 6 teams technically in the top 5 because, tie. But there's 3 gimmick teams in that group. So, and one of the other one tied for 5th, he knows very little about football. So, yeah.
So when you look at, like, when you're doing your picks, do you see how close the bars are? Like the little green bars that show who's favored more than the other? Mm-hmm. Like, they are all close.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone has a fucking clue what's going on.
Well, a lot of times they should be because Vegas should have the line set to where Vegas is always trying to get it to be like 50-50.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it's just, people won't care. Like, whatever the spread is, they just take it.
It doesn't matter, but
a few years ago when the Patriots played Cleveland on Thursday night, I think it was like an 18-point spread and everybody took the Patriots,
Yeah. But there's no-brainers in there.
I'll tell you, and even the ones that feel like no-brainers this year, with like Minnesota against Buffalo last week, Buffalo all of a sudden decided to learn how to play football.
Yeah. And it was wild even looking at everybody's picks overall in our league, and it's 50-50.
Yeah.
There are a few where it's like, okay, yeah, this is the team that's going to win this week.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's like anybody's guess.
Yeah. Yep. Which is what I like. I like watching that kind of stuff too. Like you said, I'm always curious to see, where people are kind of like, where they feel a little frisky, and they're like, I'll go ahead. Like like a point spread will be like 4 points or 3.5 points, or my favorite is the whenever it's 2.5, because that's a field goal, and that's one of those where it's like, like you really got to weigh it back and forth. Those are my favorite ones, because you'll see people sometimes be like, I don't think they're gonna,
Yep.
Or I think they're going to outscore them by more than that or whatever, so I enjoy that. So yeah, there you go. If anybody out there still wants to join Dude Mountain, you still can. Just hit us up on Twitter or whatever and send me your email address. I can send you an invite. If, you have a
few good weeks, you're in still.
Yeah, it's not too late to still get in it at this point. Plus, look, the rest of the league had a garbage week last week. Yeah. We had a bunch of like 3s and 4s, I think, didn't we? Yeah, 4s and 6s and 3s. It's just not a great week overall. So, a couple weeks like that, if you came in with 9s and 11s or whatever, you could jump in there. So. Yeah, so alright, so that's your Dude Mountain update of the week. I love it. Awesome. Alright, well, now it's time for the Q of the W, which we still need. We need a thing for it. Like, we need a bumper for this.
Yeah, you don't have an intro.
No, we've been doing this for what, like 2 years now?
Yeah, you got kind of post bit segments.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Well, I got, because Tony does the Rick and Morty stuff, which I love, but I still feel like we need something on the front end. But, oh well. Last week's question was, I don't remember, so I'm going to have to look. Oh, there it is. What is an unpopular show that you loved? And you said there were none over on the face page, huh?
Yeah, nothing.
Nice. Love it.
Bleak.
Yeah, sweet. My favorite answer of the week is yours. You posted on Twitter, and he mentioned us and said, well, how can I not go with Gotham? Check out my podcast at Gotham Lights that I host with at BadWolfBay87, where we break down each episode and express love for a show generally reviled in our little podcast community. Hashtag Q the W, hashtag SLPod.
Hashtag shameless plug.
Yeah. Yep. I like it. That's how it's done right there.
That's how you do it.
Yep. Bonus points for that one.
Yep. You promote the fuck out of something.
That's right. Well, it is, it's like I was reading something the other day talking about how to like grow your brand, your podcast brand, like on Twitter. And they mentioned that like to take part in hashtags and stuff, like whatever's trending, to tweet that stuff. And it was like, yeah, most of the stuff that's trending, I have no interest in, or it's not what we do, Yeah. Like right now I'm looking at the trending things and it's like the top 3 things, the ones from the dude from Jefferson Airplane dying, which that's not, that doesn't do anything for me. I'm not against or for them, Detroit versus Toronto, which I'm without clicking on it, I'm not sure if it's a baseball or a basketball game or a hockey game at this point, because we're at that point of the season. And then the Philadelphia Eagles. It's like, I don't really want to tweet about any of that stuff. So, I mean, I guess I could tweet and be like, hey, I don't want to tweet about, and then put all those hashtags. Nah, I hate when people do that, though.
Yeah, I don't know where I heard this, but somebody had like figured out like 2 hashtags.
Yeah,
is the effective amount, and that any more is a waste.
Yeah, because people just see a blur of hashtags and they just don't read them. Yeah. It becomes like it becomes a TLDR, but like, nope, done. So, all right. We also got, I gotta open the thing here, from at Besotted Geek Pod, Riverdale. As far as I know, at Bad Ideas Podcast, dead to me, and I are the only 2 who love it. But since he's dead to you, I guess it's just me. Bonus points for that also.
Absolutely.
And Pittsburgh Nerd says Babylon 5. I love that show and still think it's really well done sci-fi, but it seems to get kicked to the curb nowadays. And at the time, like, it wasn't, like, people...
you're right.
People liked it, but it wasn't, like, it wasn't Star Trek. You know what I mean? No. Like, it wasn't, like, beloved by everybody. It was like, But, I liked it too.
Tolerated.
Yeah, really, that's more of what it was. It was like, well, there's no Star Trek on, so I guess I'll watch Babylon 5.
Watch Babylon 5, yeah.
Yeah. I actually think here the one channel ran Next Generation reruns, and then they ran Babylon 5, like, one right before the other, So, yeah, that looks like it over on the tweets. So, let me pulls up the emails here. Where did it go? There it is. Fluffy Bunny Ash says that her show would be Firefly because it didn't have the cult status of some canceled early shows I'm sorry. Firefly was a show we talked about. Her answer is Dark Angel.
Oh.
That's a good one.
That's a really good one.
Yeah, because that's a show that they canceled it, and a bunch of people were like, but it wasn't popular enough to keep it going. And another show I thought that actually might get mentioned, but we didn't get very many answers, was like Jericho. Because that show got canceled. I mean, although people did rally to get it, like, what was it, an extra episode or a couple episodes, something like that.
Something, yeah.
Yeah. Shoot. And the last one I have is from Cheeto Bandito. He says, "Those Who Kill," which I don't know what that show is, so I'm clicking on the link that he provided. Yeah, I vaguely remember this, but I don't think I ever watched it. It was a show on A&E that had Chloe, was it Sevigny, or however you say her name? Yeah. So, alright. Interesting. Yeah, it's got a 7.2 over on IMDb. But he mentioned that it's only got, it only has 12 episodes. So, and so that's kind of what I was thinking of, like, when we did the question, was like shows like that are, you know, somebody really liked and be like, oh man, they canceled it after one season or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so what can you do? Yeah, so that's it for the ones I got submitted. Yeah.
I like what you got. Good job.
I forgot to open up the document. So, yeah. I gotta open up the list here. Unless you happen to have a Q of the W.
I do not.
Okay.
You know what? There was one that I posted in our Kick group one time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, that would make a great Q of the W. And I cannot remember for the life of me what it is. And, you know, you can only go back so far.
Mm-hmm.
And, it was killing me.
All right.
It was something like it was like a coat of arms, but for something odd. And I don't remember what it was. And it bums me out. I thought it was kind of funny.
And you can't really search the chat for,
you can't,
to find out what it is.
You go far back. So, yeah. So.
Wah, wah.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe somebody from the group will remember. I don't know. Probably not. We're all terrible.
Like, nobody commented on it. It was evidently stupid.
Okay, well, there's that, I guess. No.
Yeah.
All right. Pick a number 1 through 19.
18.
18? Okay. Excuse me, this is one I pulled from Reddit. Which two historical figures would you like to see fight to the death in gladiatorial combat?
This is a classic.
Yeah.
Well, because I'm a complete asshole, I'm going to say Charlie Chaplin versus Helen Keller.
That's going to be a pretty quiet fight. Unless Chaplin decides...
it's going to... No? Chaplin's going to be doing his thing, and then you're going to be...
Yeah, you're probably right. I was trying to take the high road, Henno. Way to actually fill in for Tony there and take the low road.
I'm going to hell for that bit.
Oh, man.
Because I figured Chaplin's got the cane.
Right. Right.
But she's got her, what she's got, whatever.
What she's got. I think she has a katana or something. She just carries around, yeah. Oh, man. Trying to think, I kind of want to see, Putin, bare knuckle fight somebody. I don't want weapons involved. I just want it old school, fisticuffs. But I'm
shirt off. Like old timey.
Yeah, yeah.
Put up your dukes, draw the line across the floor,
right.
You can't walk across it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to decide who I want him to...
Just punches to the face?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. It's part of me wants to see him fight Lincoln. I feel like it should be someone that's, You know, that when, you know, if they win for the U.S., that they get draped in the cape or the flag afterward. So I think it's almost got to be like him or Washington or something like that, you know, but.
Or Teddy Roosevelt.
Oh, there it is. All right. Yep.
He's got,
there it is.
The mustache. Yep.
Yep. That's it. It's Roosevelt Putin won. Oh, for sure. Yes. All right. So yeah, there's my answer. So.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That will be epic.
I would love to watch that, actually.
I would.
Then they can go wrestle bears or something.
It just even what they say to each other will be exciting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the trash talking will be good too. That's the best
be
part.
Amazing.
Yeah,
because Putin just says shit that's just it's not even real. I mean, it's just.
And Teddy Roosevelt's the type to like, you know, talk to you while he's kicking your ass. Like, he'll like do commentary on it while he's kicking your ass. Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be talking about something about history and the Boer Wars that he did while.
Yeah.
Like what this is like.
Yeah. Bragging about his life
like
while he's kicking your
time.
ass. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just keeps punching you in the face, and every time he gives you a fact about himself, you know, just sock.
At some point, he just puts the monocle on just for effect.
Right. That's right. But like, you can't even knock this thing off of me. You can't touch me. Oh, man. There it is. That's right. Greatest fight ever.
Show me what you got.
Yeah. Oh, I think you get. We better get some good ones this week.
I hope so, because this is that's why I pulled this one, because I just thought there could be some ridiculous answers for it. You know?
Yeah, there's be great answers for this. Yeah,
mm-hmm.
Especially with some descriptions underneath, like on the Facebook.
Right. Yeah, there better be.
Man, I gotta say, yours is way up there.
What do you mean,
Teddy? Whew.
Oh, right.
And just the fact that he's going up against a Russian, and not just any Russian. I mean, the shirtless horse riding.
That's why it was like the first person that popped into my head. It was like, you know, I could go hack and be like Hitler and Putin or something, but it's like, forget that noise, you know, or Lenin or some bullshit like that, you know. But forget that. And it's like, no, I want old timey fighting, like like gentlemen, just pure fisticuffs.
Yep.
They put on their fighting trousers and they get after it.
Yeah.
If you don't know what fighting trousers are, go check out Professor Elemental, or go check out The Enthusiast, where we talk to Professor Elemental
about fighting trousers.
And monkey butlers.
Ooh, knowledge.
I like knowledge. That's good stuff. All right. Well, I think that's a show. What do you think?
That's a hell of a show.
All right. Well,
that's some content, people.
Yeah, it's something.
Isn't that worth a drawing?
Yeah. Do it.
I love the idea of a Funko Pop. Like, I want to have like me, a bass playing Funko Pop.
Yeah, well, it's fun.
That would be fun.
I got a template at one point, because I was just going to kind of dink around with it and stuff. So, you know, I just have to work out the, you know, kind of like doing like a caricature. Yeah. You know, you have to kind of just tinker with it to kind of capture the person a little bit. But yeah, I like that idea. And like I said, I used to love drawing people as Legos and stuff. So, you know, like the Lego characters.
Cool.
So
I love that idea.
There's a good chance that it'll be one or the other, you know.
Yeah. Little block dude. That's awesome.
Yeah. Or like I said, it'll be something weird.
Yeah.
You know. It'll just be something, you know, a bunch of patterns or something like that I've doodled for no reason. So, all right. So head over to saltylanguage.com, where you can see all the links for the that we've talked about on this episode. Excuse me. You can see get all the past episodes, all the enthusiasts that we've done. If you're going to be shopping on Amazon, please swing by our site first and click the Amazon banner. It'll take you over there, and you shop away as normal. Doesn't cost you anything extra and helps us out a tad. While you're on our site, you can see the networks we're part of. Like the Tangent Bound Network. Wow, I totally blanked. right. And of course...
Danger! Watch your back! Danger!
Entertainment.
I got the dirty version.
Right? So go check those out. You may find some other podcasts that you dig. Suckers! Yeah, all our social media links are over there as well. If you want to contact us, again, if you want to be part of Dude Mountain, if you want to suggest a Q of the W, if you want to contact me or whatever about the, the drawings. Drawings. Instead of Simon in that, just say Brian, and it works perfectly. Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah, it works, right? Yeah.
That's really funny.
Yeah. You can find the show on the tweeters at salty_language. You can find me at Stunami. How about you, Heno?
You can find me at Ida Heno on Twitter, and please check out my podcast that has no identity that goes by Gotham Lights or the Orvalites, or what we just released this week is our second installment in our erotic literature trilogy that we're putting out with by the author Thor M.F. Jones, also known as Zigzag Claiborne. You can check him out on Twitter there too. He's got Amazon. He's an indie author, and he writes some real creative stuff. And we have just had a blast reviewing his short stories. And shout out to Dev from Shot of History for introducing us to Zigzag. Yep. He's a good dude.
Young Devery. Yep.
Yes.
You can, also check out the podcast Hano and I are part of with our friend Jen, The Crazy Life, which, you can find however you found this podcast or whatever, it's available pretty much everywhere as well. If you want to, I'm trying to remember what our, Instagram and Snapchat are, because Tony usually does those. Our Instagram, I think, is Salty Language, and I think
so.
Yeah, I don't know.
Tony just does Snapchat as Tony, doesn't he? Oh, it's Salty Language Tony.
On Snapchat?
Yeah.
Really? That doesn't seem right.
Yeah, it says... Oh, it's Salty_language. But
okay.
It's titled as Salty Language Tony.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. Now we're back after it. All right. Yeah, on Instagram it's Salty Language. Like you said, on Snapchat it's Salty_language. And again, if you need any of these links, they're all on the website. So just check out saltylanguage.com for everything salty related. And, hopefully I get some requests from some folks, as well as hopefully we get a bunch of Q of the W answers. I want to get a lot of these. I'm gonna pimp the hell out of this in the Twitter rooms I'm in. I want to get a bunch of dumb answers.
Yeah, we got a Facebook promote this baby.
Yep. Yeah, I'm gonna throw this everywhere this week. So, all right. Well, I guess until next week, have a beer, you'll be fine.
And stay salty.
Oh my. I don't know what to go out on here. And I watch out for octopuses.